My sister-in-law passed away 12 years ago, and my brother passed away 4 years ago. They had a daughter who's now a young teen. After my brother passed away, my sister-in-law's brother and I tried to adopt my niece, but as my niece didn't have much of a relationship with her mom's family, I was obviously the better option, so I ended up adopting her. Recently, my niece has got this very annoying habit that whenever we have a disagreement, she said she'd rather go live with her other uncle. I know she doesn't mean it because 1, she barely knows her other uncle. Number 2, I have a high-paying job, and I'm able to provide things that most people aren't able to provide, so she's too spoiled to be able to live with anyone else. About a week ago, it happened again. She told me she wanted to go live with her other uncle. This time, I told her to go pack a bag. She went to her room, and an hour later, I went to her room and asked her if she was ready. She said she didn't mean what she said and didn't really want to go. I told her that she should go anyway. She'll stay for a week, and then she could tell me if she wanted to stay there or come back home. She insisted that she already knew where she wanted to stay, but I told her to get in the car and drove her there. After a week, I called her and asked her if she wanted to come home, and she said yes. However, she won't talk to me. My family heard what happened, and now everyone's mad at me and thinks I'm an idiot. I had this upbringing. I was adopted by relatives who would pull this, "I don't have to keep you" crap anytime I was a normal bratty adolescent. So now I have abandonment issues. You are the idiot. The fact that you so easily passed her off to the next person broke her trust. You need to apologize and earn that back. Yep, this is sure to cause some abandonment issues down the line. And it's not surprising that she stopped talking to OP. This kid has been through a nightmare on top of the normal emotions of adolescence. She lost her parents at a young age and is now living with an uncle who showed her that his love is conditional. OP, she realized she spoke in anger. She's been through a living nightmare, so you can expect her to lash out every now and again. You forced her to stay a week with people she didn't have much of a relationship with and seems surprised that she's mad. You shouldn't have made her go there. Apologize for that and stop spoiling her. You created this problem with her because you spoiled her instead of parenting her. Hard disagree, not the idiot. She's going to run into trouble as an adult. Your niece needs to learn to handle not getting her way or disagreements in a healthy manner. She can't always mess around because she'll find out the hard way, which she did when you called her bluff and actually made her stay with her other uncle. Yeah, I don't think she's spoiled. She's just hurting. That's a heck of a loss. And she doesn't feel secure even now, poor kid. Buying her some nice jeans or a laptop didn't spoil her. To be fair, he wasn't saying that he didn't have to keep her. She was saying she didn't have to stay. A week was a reasonable amount of time. He told her she could confirm that she wanted to come home. It was a way to take that attitude away from her. The teenage years are tough. Hopefully OP will look at some shared therapy to help move forward. Update. I decided to let you know how things are going. We decided to have a conversation about it. I asked her how it was there and how she was treated, and she told me that while her uncle was nice, her aunt made her feel unwelcome, and she didn't feel good about being there. She doesn't want to live with them and thinks I was a jerk for sending her, even after she apologized. I apologized and told her that even if she wanted to live with them, I'd still bring her back home because I loved her too much and couldn't live without her, so she was stuck with me. She has some conditions for forgiving me. For example, she continues to torture me by forcing me to binge watch Riverdale with her, and she wants a daddy-daughter day, and I'm guessing I'm not going to like any of her plans based on the evil grin on her face, but I'll do whatever makes her happy. There were a lot of not the idiot votes. While I'm thankful, I don't agree with them. I was definitely being an idiot. She was just being a typical teenager. I, 25 male, met this girl, 24, on a dating app a few weeks ago, and we've been on a lot of dates that went well. This weekend, she invited me over to her apartment for the first time to watch a movie. I got thirsty, so when she used the restroom, I went into the kitchen to get myself some water. I wasn't sure where she kept the cups, so I looked through the cabinets for them. She came out when I was still searching for them and got really upset with me for supposedly invading her privacy and going through her things. I told her that it wasn't that big of a deal since I just wanted to get some water, but she insisted that I should have asked her where the cups were if I couldn't find them after a while, instead of taking it upon myself to go through her entire kitchen, which isn't true. I just opened some drawers and cabinets. In my opinion, she was being unnecessarily defensive and territorial, especially towards someone she was seeing. I wouldn't have a problem with someone getting water for themselves in my kitchen, and I told her as much. She insisted that her boundaries were not the same as mine, and I told her that was illogical, since dating someone should be letting your boundaries down. She cut the date short and said she wanted time to think. I texted her later that night that I was sorry she got angry with me for trying to get water, but she still hasn't messaged me back. Most of my friends think she's being unreasonable, but my sister seems to agree with her. So was it really that big of a deal that I tried to get water for myself from the kitchen and looked through the kitchen for cups? You are the idiot. Just getting a glass of water is a totally innocent activity, but how you went about it was weird and invasive. As you said, you don't know her kitchen layout. You'd been sitting together watching a movie, and she left for what, 2 minutes? Less? It would have made so much more sense to ask her before she left or wait until she got back than to choose the tiny amount of time she was gone to go out of your way and rifle through her kitchen. Speaking of which, opening cabinets made sense, but who keeps glasses in drawers? Then you justify yourself by saying if she wants to date, she needs to get over having boundaries? You missed every single off-ramp and just kept going full steam ahead into creepy behavior, didn't you? I get why she needs some time to think about this. I wouldn't expect to be invited back anytime soon, or ever, actually. And don't forget the non-apology, too. I texted her later that night that I was sorry that she got angry with me for trying to get water. You apologized for her reaction to the thing you did wrong. That's not an apology. That's a red flag. Dude, don't lie. You got caught snooping through her house. So now you're trying to justify your behavior here. If you truly were just trying to get a glass of water, you should have waited and asked her. But given how defensive you got, this clearly isn't what happened. Ignoring whether you were looking for a glass or not, you just told her you only respect boundaries you personally have and agree with. The proper response would be, I'm sorry, I didn't think because I personally don't feel that way, but I respect that you do and apologize. Why would you want to continue developing a relationship with someone who just told her they would weigh every boundary and only respect it if they decide it's logical or would personally bother them? You continue to prove her right by apologizing for wanting water rather than the actual issue. My son is autistic and hates collared shirts. He says they rub his skin and hurt. I never buy him collared shirts, but his school uniform is collared, and sometimes other people buy him some, so I just take them to the tailor. My mother-in-law bought him several nice shirts for Christmas, and I just picked them up from my tailor. My son wore one to lunch with my wife's family yesterday. My mother-in-law was furious that I altered the shirts because they were very expensive. My wife asked me to apologize to her mother, but I don't think I should. It's silly for him to have shirts he'll never wear. This way, he'll actually get to use them. My wife said it hurt her mother's feelings, and we could have just bought him new shirts instead of altering the one she purchased. What is the point of a shirt just sitting in a closet unworn? Is it rude to alter a gift? Not the idiot. Your son has sensory issues, and respecting how he feels is way more important than catering to people that are easily offended over nothing. She shouldn't have bought shirts with a collar in the first place, right? I'm sure it's been explained to mother-in-law that he hates shirts with collars. If she still buys them that way and then gets upset that they have them altered so the child can actually wear them, which makes her the idiot, the wife should be taking up for her son, not worrying about hurting her mother's feelings. A gift should be given without the expectation that the recipient will use it to make the giver feel good about themselves. Also, why would anyone buy expensive shirts for a child? I know, grandmothers. Once my mother-in-law bought me a dry clean only outfit for my baby. Why would anyone in their right mind buy a dry clean only outfit for a baby? I feel for you. I've learned through experience that some grandparents will ignore what you say because they think you're making crap up and catering too much to your child. OP, they want to force the kid to wear the shirt and discipline them if they don't act normal. For context, my son Elijah is 23 and lives at home partially due to a physical disability. He's currently taking classes online to earn a business degree. He's been with his current and first-time girlfriend, Tanya, 24 female, for 2 years. Tanya's also in college and goes to a local brick and mortar. As I understood a few months ago, Tanya gave my son a brand new Xbox Series X, which was a bit odd to me. As Tanya's birthday approached, I gave Eli $200 to put towards a decent gift for her, since she randomly gave him something expensive. Fast forward a few weeks, and Tanya abruptly stopped coming over. They're adults, so neither my wife nor myself pressed him as to why. Eventually, Tanya calls my wife to explain that Eli's refusing to return her Xbox. She was a bit confused, and Tanya said they didn't break up, but had a fight before she asked for the Xbox back. She also claimed it was never a gift. We spoke to Eli, and he assured us it absolutely was a gift, as it was even wrapped. I felt they needed to figure things out on their own. Last weekend, Tanya came over and approached me in our garage. Unfortunately, my son and wife weren't home at the time. She explained everything, then handed me her phone to read their text history. To summarize, one of Tanya's 3 roommates stole from her. 2 days later, the Xbox she had purchased was delivered. Fearing it would get stolen, she asked my son to hold on to it for safekeeping until she found a new place to live. As a direct quote, "I haven't even opened it yet. It just sucks I'm living with a thief. When I come over, let's set it up so at least you can use it." He acknowledged everything she had said. Aside from the entire Xbox ordeal, the more I read, the more livid I became. The things my son said to her, speaking to her in such an extremely condescending manner. I was mortified. This was not the son I raised. I took her into his room and packed up the Xbox. I was in shock to learn about this side of my son I never knew existed. I was asking questions and learned the fight started after he forgot her birthday. Days later, she was very hurt and confronted him. In return, he tossed her a wrinkled up shirt with a $10 price tag. She did so much for his birthday, helped his mom decorate, and threw him a party. They arrived home a few hours after she left. He just stepped over the threshold, and I went off on him. It's not like I can discipline him anymore, but I sure wanted him to feel shame and guilt for his appalling behavior. He kept saying that I didn't understand. She was only telling her side. When I informed him that the Xbox was gone, he completely threw a 5-year-old's tantrum. He called me names and said I had no business getting involved in his personal relationship. His mother agreed with him and asked what happened to them figuring things out independently. Legally, she could have just gotten the law involved. 3 days later, he put a keyed lock on his door. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It would be different if he lived in his own apartment, but he's under your roof. You 100% have the right to not want to have some stolen Xbox in your house. You gave it back to the legal owner. You did nothing wrong. Also, if he took your $200 and bought her a $10 t-shirt, then he's clearly capable of making up a story about it being a birthday gift. She just didn't tell her side. She showed you the text. I'm concerned about the lock on his door. He stole from her and lied to you about it easily. Then you gave him money to buy her a present, which it seems he didn't. So he stole from you. What other stolen things are in his room? I'm all for privacy, but this is an adult who's very comfortable with lies and theft. You do not want stolen items in your home. I would be very surprised if this was his first theft. Many kids try stealing something, or maybe a few things, realize that it's wrong, grow up, and are trustworthy people. But this is an adult. Agree. Why is the shirt so wrinkled? Did he steal it from the store? Just speculation, but that seems like an odd detail. And if my kid put a lock on their bedroom door in my house without my permission, they'd lose the whole door. OP, your wife is enabling his behavior, which is something you two should communicate with each other about. I, 27 female, have lived with my boyfriend, 26, for 2 years now. Been together for 9. In our household, I do everything cooking related. I come up with the recipes, do the grocery shopping, and cook. My boyfriend eats whatever I make and cleans up afterward. I've been fine with this arrangement up until this point because 1, I like cooking, and 2, I work from home, and my job is not very demanding. He works 2 healthcare jobs and has an hour's commute each way. Given that he's in healthcare, his schedule is not your typical 9 to 5. He works a lot of weekends and will sometimes have random weekdays off while I work. Lately, he's been extremely lazy on his days off. He used to clean the dishes immediately after we ate, but now he's been letting them sit for hours or even overnight while he sits on his phone or watches TV. He's also been slacking in other areas. I can't remember the last time he cleaned our shower, which is one of the other responsibilities he has. However, I understand that things are still crazy for healthcare workers, so I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But today I reached my breaking point. We have dishes piling up in the sink, and he's been sitting on the couch all day doing absolutely nothing. I asked him after lunch when he planned on doing them, and he snapped at me, saying he'd get them done but needed a rest day. I'm immensely frustrated with this, so I only made dinner for myself. I didn't give him any warning, just didn't make a portion for him. I sat down and started eating, and he came into the room. Our exchange went a little like this. Boyfriend, are you messing with me? Where's my dinner? Me, I didn't make anything for you tonight. You haven't been holding up your end of the household chores, and I'm tired of slaving over all your meals while you spend the day on the couch when the house is a total mess. We have stuff for sandwiches, or you can get some takeout. My boyfriend was livid. He screamed at me and stormed off to get something to eat. He's been gone for about an hour and has yet to return. I feel bad about it now because we didn't have much discussion about things before I blatantly cut him off. But I am tired of doing all the cooking while he doesn't hold up his end of the bargain. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Did he give you a warning for not doing the dishes? Nope. Did you scream at him and storm out when the dishes weren't done? Nope. Seems pretty one-sided to me. In fairness, while I think you're absolutely not the idiot, you also have some significant communication issues here. 9 years together should result in smoother collaboration. This seems combative. Yeah, she's immensely frustrated, but instead of sitting down and talking to find out what's going on with him and to let him know his behavior change is frustrating, she goes straight to, well, if you don't clean, I won't cook for you. This makes me doubt OP's claim that they're open to discussing their situation at work. Everyone's the idiot here. Y'all need to have a good old-fashioned conversation. Perhaps he'll open up to you about being burned out and needing extra help until he can get himself sorted out. Healthcare is a hard industry to be in right now. Burnout is real. He has 2 healthcare jobs. That's a lot. Not saying he gets a pass on any household duties, just saying a conversation is the best place to start instead of just passively aggressively not making him a portion of dinner.